My name is Ben Cohen. I am the editor and founder of thedailybanter.com, and I'm here today to talk about how we can save the internet from viral content. A little bit about myself and the Daily Banter. We are a small, scrappy startup website that we do original journalism, we do cultural and political and media commentary, and we are currently now in a giant sea of big sharks that mostly churn out viral content. That would be listicles, top 10 lists, 72 cats that look like Joseph Stalin. We are fighting for survival in a very, very cutthroat industry that seems to rely mostly on clickbait. Now, there are a couple of reasons for this, namely the collapse of the print industry, which has been happening over the last 15 years or so with the rise of the internet. And as a result of the collapse of print, websites have been struggling to create a business model, that makes them enough money to continue, because the advertising rates are far, far lower online than they have traditionally been in print. That's changing, but we have seen the rise of internet sites that have essentially gamed the system through a lot of kind of cheap tricks. One of them being SEO, search engine optimization, where headlines are written specifically for search. And the other one is clickbait, where you have headlines that promise to shock you, promise that after 2 minutes your jaw is going to be on the floor, and that you've never seen anything like this. And at 30 seconds, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. At 1 minute, my jaw was on the floor, and at 2 minutes, I was devastated. These headlines are created to make you click. You click on it, it's a video, a 30-second video, 1 minute video of something that's designed to pull at your emotional, pull at your heartstrings, and people fall for it all the time. If you have a Facebook account, which I'm sure you do, you'll probably see on your newsfeed lots and lots of this type of content that people share. It's designed to be shareable on social media. Now, we came along in around 2007, just as an individual blog that was just I ran by myself, and struggled to find funding, struggled to find ways of monetizing. Advertising didn't pay the bills. So, but we tried to, in 2012, I ran it as an individual blog for 5 years, and then in 2012 we professionally relaunched it, and decided quite early on that we were not going to engage in viral content. We were not going to engage in clickbait headlines. It was a very, very tough decision to make, given the rise of BuzzFeed, the stuff that the Huffington Post engages in, sites like Upworthy, Elite Daily, Thought Catalog. These are sites that churn out an insane amount of content. A lot of it is uncurated, unedited, and the idea is volume. And we were faced with a situation of a very small team and deciding which way were we going to go. Were we going to have to do that to keep the lights on, or were we going to produce quality content? And we decided to do quality content, and we've grown very, very rapidly to the point now where we did about 5 million unique visits last month to the site, and I think that's proof that quality can rise to the top. Now, this presents a lot of difficulties for publishing industry in general, because essentially there are sites that are now so big. BuzzFeed just raised $50 million in venture capital, on top of the other how many rounds of millions of dollars. They've probably raised in excess of $150 million. So they are a huge advantage, and they have teams of people churning out top 10, top 15, top 20 lists, articles designed to make you share it. They're getting into social gaming now to make you share content, games that last 30 seconds, you click on different links, and stuff that is designed to kind of waste your time and not to enrich your life, not to inform you, not to educate you. This is a very serious problem, and right now there are independent websites out there and other more established media outlets that are struggling to survive, and they have very few ways of doing this. One of the ways, the new things that has emerged right now, is the rise of paywalls. If you see, the New York Times is using a paywall, Andrew Sullivan is using a paywall. We are now, in fact, in the process of experimenting with paywalls, because we believe that good content, it can't come for free. It cannot come for free. Journalists should get paid for quality work. Now, that poses a problem to people who are used to having everything for free. So the way that we can combat this is to try to shift our mindset about what's happening on the internet, and shift how we understand what's created for free and what you should pay for. And now with the iTunes, for example, came along, and iTunes came along and essentially helped stop the illegal downloading of music, because people figured out, okay, people will be willing to pay $1 for a tune. Now the same thing has to happen in journalism, where we have to have, in my opinion, we have to have a much more direct relationship between readers and writers. So, like just as you purchase a magazine, the same thing is going to have to happen on the internet if we want to keep quality journalism alive. Now, there is the argument to say that, no paywalls, it means everything should be for free, but that essentially means that the crap will rise to the top, as we've seen thus far. We are going to have essentially one giant conglomerate of a huge content mill, where you cannot tell the difference between articles on BuzzFeed, on the Huffington Post, on Gawker. You will never know where your article comes from, because the headlines are the same, the content's the same, it's repackaging the same stories over and over and over and over again, and you will have no original content and very little original thought available on the website, because people who are really good at this stuff need to get paid to do it. So how can we help, right? What can you do to help? The first thing, block all the viral content stuff on your Facebook feed, number one. Number two, your favorite websites, if they're doing good, high quality stuff and they're not posting side boob and pictures of cats that look like your grandfather, okay, and if they're asking for money, help them out. A couple of bucks a month, any, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 a month, if they're doing really high quality work, I think is not too much to ask to help save an industry that's very important. And essentially, we have to change our kind of mindset about what we want to be reading online. You have to be very discerning, and you have to help yourself by blocking all the stuff on your feed. When you do that and you go to the quality sites, you're going to find yourself having a lot more interesting things to say. You're going to have a much richer understanding of the world. And I think everybody will benefit from keeping alive independent media and websites that don't engage in the kind of nonsense that we're seeing at the moment.